Welcome to Let's Get Dumb, the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallon, and comedian Jonah Jurkens like to ask dumb questions, tell dumb stories, and just have a dumb old time with you. Jonah, how are you?
Great.
Always, man. Jonah always likes to have that little delay before he tells me how he's doing. Just a little suspense building.
I want to mean it. I want to think about it, and I just want the words to be there.
Well, we'll get into how you're probably still drunk from the night before shortly.
I'm still hammered from the night before. Yeah.
Dude,
apologies to our guests.
I'll bring our guests into it right now. Fucking hilarious comedian's got a new special coming out that I'll let you do all the hyping up of.
Thanks, man.
Penpals podcast, like awesome stand-up all over the country. You guys are gonna love him. We're so pumped to have him on the podcast. Welcome, Daniel Van Kirk.
Hey, everybody. Hi, guys. How are you?
Golf clap.
Thank you. Specials Rose Gold. Go check it out.
Rose
Daniel
Gold.
Van Kirk comedy on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
It's wonderful.
I like
it just came out.
Promo right out the gate.
Why? Because then we can just hang.
That would be fucking hanging show.
Yeah. I don't bring it up again ever. I'm the worst.
I don't want to hear
at
about
doing
it.
this.
I'm done.
No, I'll bring it up again.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, but I don't want to hear it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
When did we meet, Jonah?
That's what I was wanting to talk about. First of all, Jonah is drunk from the night before. I want to say this real quick.
I don't think so.
Where did you go? Where were you?
Last night?
Yeah, like a few bars, right? Or
I
just
was
one?
at a few bars last night. Yeah, I went to.
few?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the older you get, the fewer bars you go to in a night?
Agreed. Yeah.
I remember walking up Clark Street. I mean, the era of times that we were like, quote unquote, in our prime.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, Nanette. I remember wearing jeans with dress shoes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That look. The black shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And a graphic tee that says it's dirtier down south or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I remember just trudging up Clark Street in snow, just going one bar to the next.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually you get older and you go, even if you're in that area, I don't know if this bar's still there, but you go, let's just go to Irish Oak and not leave.
It's not
Closed, sadly.
See, what I'm trying to put together is a Taco Bell Cantina bar crawl.
I would do that. I had a St. Patrick's Day where I got drunk at a Chipotle.
Hell
That's
yeah.
fun.
Have you ever gotten drunk at a Chipotle?
No,
I've gotten
but
drunk
I
at
want
It
Taco
is
Bell.
so much fun.
It's the best.
Because you make way more friends than you think you ever would.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's walking into Chipotle with attitude.
No.
And then they don't know. They've never cut anybody off. They have no idea. They're not bartenders.
They didn't take the
Good
test
point.
for.
Some of them don't serve alcohol anymore, but for a long time, every single one of them had margaritas.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
I do. I do remember this.
I was at the one, I think it was on Diversey.
You're making great points right now.
And I ended up on St. Patrick's Day. That was the last bar we were at.
I love this.
And I was just drunk ordering margaritas at
Were you just
Chipotle.
running up a tab? I'm sorry, Jonah. Were you, like, how does this go
No,
about?
it says eats in each
It's-
time.
yeah,
I kept
you
asking.
gotta individual it,
I go,
yeah.
I'm just going to keep coming
Yeah.
up here. Can I? And they're like, we have to ring them up individually.
Were you tipping?
They have Coronas and Dos Equis. I think they still do that.
They
think
do.
they
They
do,
do.
yeah.
They still have Coronas. Yeah. The Rainforest Cafe in Las Vegas has a bar, an actual bar you can sit at. So whenever I go there, I always take a shot.
The
at
one in
bar.
the shops
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The one in the shops. Yeah. Across
next
the
to
street
Planet
from-
Hollywood.
Yeah. There's
You
an
go
actual-
to that Rainforest Cafe.
all the time, and the same fucking bartender is there every time. I go like 4 or 5 times a year, and
I have some great. I'm going to Vegas for 3 days. That's my reward to myself.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
Cosmopolitan. If you're
Cosmo's that's the best
best
place.
hotel.
The best hotel. They have the
Are you a Vegas guy, Joe, at all?
Yeah. I went like 4 or 5 years.
You
in a row
both probably
for a
played
stretch.
Vegas, right?
I did the Laugh Factory there.
Yeah, Laugh
If you
Factory,
get the
yeah.
chance, do Brad Garrett's Comedy
Yes.
Club
Oh,
at
that's the
MGM.
best.
Yeah, I heard it's great.
I gotta get
You
there.
walk in and you go, this is a comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this isn't like a converted banquet hall or and I like the Cellar in Vegas too as well. I haven't done Laugh Factory, I haven't done Kimmel's, but Brad Garrett's, man, because I did the MGM Casino in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys done
No,
that?
I've not done that.
It is like a Game of Thrones room. It's literally in a
Whoa.
battery, like an old battery. It's 50-foot ceilings, 3 enormous chandeliers.
Wow.
It's still fun, and it's a casino, so it does run the gamut of like it could go really bad, but most of the time it's just really fun people, and you can't do any casino wanting to do your hour
Yeah.
No.
because you gotta play to the people in the room. I think
Right.
it's really a good exercise for
It's a
comics. For as
survival
much
thing.
as we like bitch about it, but Brad Garrett's is phenomenal.
Next time you're in Vegas, go to BattleBots.
What is that?
You know
BattleBots?
BattleBots. They
I
have a
literally
live. They have
first
an
thought
arena now.
I first thought you said BettleBots.
No, BattleBots.
Where?
BattleBots.
They have it? They
yes,
have it.
they have arena now, and you can get drunk as shit, and like the VIP is like $80.
When we're off mic,
uh huh.
I will tell you guys how to get any ticket you want to the Sphere for $5.
What the? Get the fuck
I
out
went
of
and
here.
saw.
Have you been in
I went and saw U2 opening weekend.
Shut up.
$5.
Holy shit.
Did it fuck with you?
And I've told it how to do it to other people, and it's been verified that it works for others.
Really?
One guy had to pay $20, but
Whoa.
Still though.
it's Fish is.
Were
this
you high
weekend.
up there? Fish. Come
No.
on.
5. I was 100 level down. It
Really?
was perfect, like what you would like. Look
Did it
up
like
and see
fuck with your
everything.
head a little bit?
Yes, it's unreal.
Yeah.
When Tool goes there,
I just saw
That's
Tool
his-
in
that's
Vegas.
his
Yeah.
girlfriend's
You
favorite
did?
band.
Yeah.
His
My
girlfriend's favorite band.
girlfriend loves Tool. She's her favorite band.
tell me next time you
Yeah.
guys want to go. I've become friends with the guitarist.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Adam,
my God.
Adam and I are like buddies. I've never listened to Tool in my life. I went to so I get to know Adam because one of my best friends, Rory Scovel.
Who's that?
hope
We
he gets a
have a
break
podcast. Rory did a tour before the world went away for a couple of years. He did a tour which was comedians following Tool on tour.
I heard about this. Yeah.
I
Yes.
remember, yeah, he talked about it on the late night
So
show,
he
I
ends
think.
up becoming friends with Adam
That's amazing.
and Maynard and Danny and Justin. Forgive me, guys, if I didn't get them all right. But so he ends up becoming Adam, and then I end up becoming friends with Adam. But I never listened to Tool, much to the like anger of all the guys that I grew up with in high school.
God,
They're like,
yeah.
you definitely
Our
listen to fucking
age.
Tool, and I don't have not me.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't on my disc, man. I don't.
yeah.
So
Did they have the cover where the guy was sucking his dick? Were
Who?
you kind of Tool? Were you kind of like, remember, like, when you
You're-
look at it one way?
I just told you,
I
I
see what
Yeah,
you
but
want to see,
I thought
Jonah.
that was like,
I remember the
ubiquitous.
stop motion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing.
it was like a brothers
So then-
Sway ripoff. Or
Anyway, this is just silly, dumb, long story. I ended up getting to go to rehearsal and watching them rehearse for the tour.
Really?
But that was my introduction to the band, and then the next one was in
Incredible.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So I took a couple buddies, but we should go.
Yes.
Um,
So good. Have you listened to Tool? They're like,
I was
didn't
a
know
fan
how
of their
good they
album Anemia, I think it was called, or
Yeah.
something. Or was that the song? Anyway,
That sounds
there's
right.
in the
mid-90s.
The singer is
liked
in the
it.
Maynard.
back. Yeah, Maynard is in the back because the drummer is like one of the best drummers.
Yeah, it's all
in
about
the
Danny.
world. Yeah,
Yeah, he's amazing.
yeah, it's incredible. And like,
I've learned this much, and I don't know it. And I know it sounds like such a douche name drop thing I did.
you
But,
did, but it's okay.
No,
but I-
we were talking about it.
But yeah, but I wanted to do it
It's
because I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
you that I'm serious
And-
about saying, let me know when you're going to go.
Yeah.
I would go with you.
Yes, I would. And like it's insane. It's a bunch of 50-year-old guys crying, which is amazing, and because they love Tool so much.
Right.
And there's like Waldos. That's like a new thing.
Oh, I
A
don't
bunch of
know.
Waldos, I
I don't
guess. Know.
But you saw them there. Them at the
I just saw
Sphere.
them a
them
couple
at
months
the,
ago.
Them at the Sphere, though.
That's got to be incredible.
Roger Waters at the Sphere.
Oh,
My number one band, and they're playing at the, what do you call it? The Salt Factory.
Salt
yeah,
Shed.
Salt Shed.
My Morning Jacket. When they
Yeah.
play there,
I
dude,
saw them in
Hell
Vegas.
yeah.
they're my number. That is my number one band.
Really?
Oh my god, dude.
You
Jim
emo
James,
kid, huh?
Huh?
You emo kid?
No, I missed all that too.
Really?
But I've started hearing it more lately because the guy who opens for me, Andrew Youngblood, he's big emo.
That's a fucking sweet name.
That is a dope name.
That is
yeah.
a
Fuck
cool
yeah,
ass
man.
name.
He's a cool
Youngblood?
guy. Yeah. He
You
also
call him
opens for
Youngblood?
Mark
You
Norman.
Youngblood?
Huh?
You call him Youngblood? Hey, Youngblood?
I just call me Andrew, but
Okay.
a lot of people do.
Yeah,
Anytime it's last name, I just think basketball.
true.
That you're just trying to like
Yeah.
get somebody to pass to you when you yell their last name. But Andrew is. So I've gotten to know more of like My Chemical Romance and
Yeah.
stuff.
I went to When We Were Young tour in Vegas, and that was amazing. That was like Blink-182, like, all those My Chemical Romance. It was like the most fun I've ever had.
Oh, I bet it was fucking
It was
great.
so fucking good.
Any festival that is like a group of bands 20 years like older or more
Mhm.
is going to be a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Because everyone is there seeking nostalgia.
Yeah.
And anyone seeking nostalgia is in a good mood.
I lost my mind when Yellow Card went on stage.
I'm sure you did.
I was, and they only had a 30-minute set, and they only did Ocean Avenue, and I was like, that's the only reason I'm here. If you do a new song, I'm gonna be mad at you. And it was so big, the guy was even like, we've never played to this big of a audience before. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because you've been doing state fairs for the
Right.
last 15 years.
Like if they ever do like Warped Tour 96,
Oh my god!
but they do it now, and it's
Yeah.
just the lineup from whatever Warped Tour was in
who do you want to
1996.
see on that?
Well, obviously
Limp Bizkit.
Goldfinger, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Goldfinger, I loved.
You're gonna have a lot of ska.
Yeah, a lot of
seeping in
Scott.
there.
Yeah,
I mean, No Doubt wasn't until 98 though, right?
No, they were
Not
around then.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like probably right when they were starting to.
Are
blow
they
up.
doing Coachella
Are they?
as we speak?
I've never been to
Coachella's
Coachella.
going on right now. It is. Yeah, because the band Blur got like, I don't even know why they were booked for it, but there's all these videos going
Number
on.
one fan over here, Blur.
No, I was Oasis on that battle, but Blur had a couple hits.
So pure.
But yeah, so Blur went on and the crowd was just shit. So everyone's been sharing these videos left and right. Have you seen them, Austin? Where like nobody's like it just looks like.
But it's the crowd that's bad.
That's what people are trying to say because it was like, or they just don't know Blur.
Advertising for the show, like people were shocked it was happening. I've seen a lot of that where people were like sprinting to go get tickets because they didn't even know it was going on.
Yeah, Coach. I don't know. I don't get the vibe of Coachella.
Yeah,
I'm pretty pumped about Justin Timberlake coming up. He's gonna be in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, I would go to that too. That is just going to be a great time.
They put a bar.
That is all that's going to be
at United Center. They put a bar in the middle, so you can buy tickets at the bar. So you can just watch Justin Timberlake while you're sitting at a bar in the United Center. Yeah.
Is that a normal thing?
No.
Wait, you know it's happening for this?
But I'm gonna buy tickets for that. Yeah. And then
first concert
there's
I ever
talk
into.
that he might dance and sing on the bar. There's talk of it. So I don't know if it's true. Don't quote me on this. Don't quote me on this.
Man, I have two things I want to say. Both are fun.
Say both.
Sam.
First concert I ever went to, United Center, Amy Grant.
Nice.
It's one of my mom's favorites. My mom loved Amy Grant.
Mine, Weird Al Yankovic.
Picture that Amy Grant CD.
Dude,
I think I got the
Waukesha
best
County
first,
Fair, $2.
I might have the best first concert ever. I think.
What is it?
It was the Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Dolly Parton.
Whoa.
I was 7 years old and I saw Dolly Parton.
That is great.
Yep. My dad was dating my stepmom. They weren't engaged yet or anything like that. And I think my soon-to-be new grandparents wanted to like impress us.
Yeah.
So they got us tickets to Dolly Parton. And I remember being like 7, being like, Dolly Parton, but then I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best. She was hilarious. She would tell stories
Dude,
in between.
she's a fucking angel.
She accused every guy in the front row of looking up her dress. It was funny.
Really?
She was so
fun.
awesome. And she's a great human being. Like, you see all the stuff she does now. Yeah. So I think, not to brag.
That's solid.
You guys have probably been to way cooler concerts to me, but I think I have the best first time.
I have been to the coolest one here. But
Yeah.
I'll say it. But
yeah.
I just retell the knowing the guy from Tool story.
Yeah. Did you guys know that? I know the guy from Tool. Did you know that?
First CD.
This is a question.
Crisscross.
For both of you?
No.
I thought you both said it.
No, I said great question. First CD for me was Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, of course it is.
That was my favorite first one.
You are
That's
Yeah,
a double
it was
album.
pure-
too. That's a
double
double
album.
album.
I
you are
was like
pure
11.
concentrated Chicago.
I
Yeah.
really am.
It
In the
answers
song
so
Tonight
much.
Tonight,
He's
he
the most
says,
Chicago person in the fucking world.
and
It's
the embers
annoying.
never fade in your city by the lake.
Yeah.
Chicago reference.
Oh, so good.
What was yours?
My grandma knew I was getting a CD player for Christmas.
Yeah.
She walked into Walmart. God bless Rosemary Van Kirk.
Great name too.
The reason the special is called Rose Gold.
Nice.
And she walked into Walmart. She goes, my grandson's getting a CD player. I want to get him a CD. And the equally cultured person who worked at the Rochelle Walmart was like, well, everybody's buying this one. And so she goes, okay, I'll buy that one then. It's a good CD. And he's like, I think so.
Yeah.
So my first CD is the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Great.
And it is a bang.
Yeah.
That is a great one.
My
Speaking
second,
of
Dolly
Dolly
Parton
again.
wrote the
yeah.
song.
I Will Always Love You gets all the heat and it deserves it, but there's a lot of warmth in that whole album.
so good.
Queen of the Night?
Amazing. Second CD I got was the Cool Running soundtrack. And
Really?
I second that it's one of the greatest.
Any bangers on that?
Nothing but bangers. What are you talking about? I couldn't tell you. I can see clearly now.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing. Some Jimmy Cliff in there. Great. So good. Jamaica's got a bobsled team. Come on.
I remember
You
watching
know,
that
some
movie.
people can't believe
I remember my second
Jamaica's
thing.
got that bobsled.
Yeah.
I just got canceled.
That
Uh-oh.
wasn't me. That was not Daniel.
Yeah.
It might have been Joe.
Yeah, I just want guys. I just want you guys to know. You can see Daniel Van Kirk's album, Rose Gold.
Rose Gold.
Yeah, Rose
Leave
Gold.
a comment
YouTube.
on what you think of that
Yeah.
Jamaican impression he just
Yeah,
did.
it's pretty good. I liked it.
That's so funny.
So what's the best concert? You said you've been to the best
2016, I went to what was nicknamed
The year
Old
before we
Cella,
met.
but it was Desert Trip. 3 nights. I think we met. You think we met 2017?
I thought you said that upstairs. I thought.
I know, but it could have been
Maybe
2016.
something like that.
First night, it was 2 performances, 2 performers, 2 bands, whatever, each night. Friday night was Bob Dylan and then the Stones.
Whoa.
Saturday night was Neil Young and then Paul McCartney.
Wow.
And then Sunday night was The Who and then Roger Waters.
Oh, yeah.
And I was from here to Austin for all of it.
Damn.
That's
and
amazing.
The Stones, have you
Legends
guys seen
weekend.
the Stones?
No.
Never.
if you spent $250 more than you're willing to spend, even if that's just $250, you will go, that was worth every fucking penny.
Really?
There were multiple times during the Stones where I had to tell myself to close my mouth
Really?
because
Just drool.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's unreal.
Wow.
I'm sure Mick Jagger is on so much HGH and
Has to
like
be.
full on like someone else makes your body do the yoga poses and stretches you.
Yeah, how could he?
But once you get to 70, 75, do all the HGH. Like,
Who cares?
Yeah.
because it's all recovery. That's like when you get older, you can still do everything you could at 25. Your body just doesn't recover as fast. That's what all that shit is.
Mhm.
It is unreal seeing that band live.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I got to put them on the list.
You have to, dude.
I've been in a
'Cause you-
mode where I'm like, I got to see the bands before I can't see anymore. So
I
I
got-
Guns N' Roses last summer.
I got invited
Yeah,
to go
that's
see
good.
somebody at the Hollywood Bowl. They were like, "Hey, I got an extra ticket. Do you want to go?" I live
Bowl, too.
20 minutes tops if
Yeah.
I walked from the Hollywood Bowl.
Wow.
I
I
said,
just live across the street from there,
I said no.
across the highway, the 101.
That show, Tom Petty was his last
Shut up.
concert.
Really?
I got invited to
Idiot.
his last show.
Oh,
no
no.
one knew it was going to be
Nobody
his
knew.
last
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
how could you know?
You have to have a list of people that if you woke up tomorrow and found out they died, you were like, "Fuck, I never saw Billy Joel.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never saw Elton John."
That's why I saw Usher.
I would agree. You
But
joke.
it was
You
one of
joke.
the best concerts I've
Of
ever been to.
course it
Amazing.
was.
It was
Yeah.
so. It was in Vegas. It was incredible.
God, you love Vegas.
I fucking love.
goes there.
So do
Vegas
I,
so
but
much.
I very rarely meet people that are as much.
Do you
as
know
good
about
as-
all the speakeasies in the Cosmo?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ski lodge one is my
The
favorite.
ski lodge is my favorite. It's amazing. So
So you've got it. We got it.
What's
go.
great
Come next
about-
week. Come next
I
week
like
with
that you're
me.
trying to include me, but he gets so excited. I'm happy to step back
Yeah.
and be like,
Oh, they have shuffleboard at so the shuffleboard table is right by the blackjack table, and my girlfriend and I are like very competitive about shuffleboard to the point where it's
I
like,
imagine probably
you
most
throw
things.
it and it's like click, you hear that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
to
yeah.
the point where the guy was like, "Can you fucking not do that right now?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, bud. We're in a little bit of a compo right now." And then he left. He left the betting table. Because he was like, I can't handle these fucking guys so much. Because my girlfriend and I were so mad at each other about.
Oh my god! I would have looked at that dude and be like, "Do you think they put this here so that you had
Oh, yeah.
something to look at while you gamble?"
Every time I said it, I looked at him. Every time I shot it, I looked at him. I go, "Is that too loud? You okay with that one? You sure?" And
Also,
then-
you know what? I go, I bet if you were winning, you wouldn't give a fuck about
Yeah.
this noise.
what's the most badass thing you've ever said to anybody where you walked away being like, "I'm a man"?
Man. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind confrontation at all.
Me either.
I have not. Yeah, you're good at it. Joe was like, Joe and I fight.
I have
Joe's
too
quit the
many
podcast.
stories.
Like,
I have
on
too
the-
many stories.
Yeah.
Not even about this podcast, but yeah.
Okay.
bit of a
I
habit.
remember one. I went to the 25th anniversary of Improv Olympic at
Nice.
that venue that's right next to that huge church, and that it's like
Yeah, it's,
Lincoln
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Oh, the Anta something
Paulina,
or other.
or not
the fuck's
Paulina.
it called? Yeah, Lincoln Paulina.
but it's like right next. I don't know what that
Anthonyum.
venue is.
South.
Yes.
Yes.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I walk up, and you go. There's steps, and then there's like entry doors, and then on the other side of the entry doors is a huge like foyer, like big, and then on the end of that foyer is the doors that are locked for the show. Well, the show's general admission, right? So I walk up and I kind of like look at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that are like sitting at the top of the steps, like outside these first doors. I'd never been there before either. I assume by what happens that they hadn't. And I walk up and I pull the door and it opens. And then there's a person and I go, "Where should we go for like to go into the show?" She's like, "Oh, you just want to wait at those next doors." So I go up and like wait at the next doors and I'm standing there. And then other people are kind of like outside those first doors. So then they start like coming in. And my college roommate and I are standing first people at the doors. And these people kind of start lining up behind us. And one guy who's there with his girlfriend, stocky guy, flat top, like remember people used
Oh,
to
yeah.
spike
I had
there,
a
but
flat
it's
top.
it's
Sounds
still like
handsome.
flat top, yeah.
Yeah.
Shorts, kind of like the polo that doesn't perfectly fit.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up and he kind of like gets himself next to me,
Yeah.
like at the door, and I'm like standing there, and then he kind of like
Oh,
puts his shoulder, and I go,
Shoulder
hey,
in.
I go, "Hey man," and he goes, "We were here first."
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, I don't think so, because I was the only person in here when I walked in here." And he goes, that's fucking bullshit. And I go, oh, I would say ask somebody, but I was the only person in here, And then he's like, we're going in this place first. And I go, dude, if you don't go where the line is, you aren't in it.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And then he's like, you're going to have to move. And I go, I'm not moving. And then it was like awkward minutes of just kind of like standing there. And then you can like feel your heart pumping, right? And he goes, we're going into this place for you. And I look at him and I look at his girlfriend and I go, why don't you ask your girlfriend if she wants you to do any of this?
Nice.
And he like looks over at her and she's just like mortified.
Of course.
And he's like, backs off. And the only reason I was proud of it is because like I tried to make it like, look at the situation you're in. Yeah. She doesn't want you to do this.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, I was so like mad at him for trying to like ruin that energy. But I'm like, even if you're fifth, you think you're not gonna get a seat you want?
Right. What's the point here?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Do you really need that extra?
And also, you weren't in line.
Right.
You were just in the area. That'd be like being like, hey, we parked 10 minutes ago before you got here, and we were just waiting in our car, but we were here.
Right.
I know it's exaggeration, but it drove me fucking
nuts.
This
is this perfect story of de-escalation, though. I feel like police academies across America should use this story as an example.
Well, because she wants him to stop.
Of course. Yeah. But it was great how you won and you let him save face enough.
But I kind of made him a bitch.
Yeah. But you made him a bitch, but
he already was
in a way where he could back away. You gave him an exit. Which I just respect that. I had something once, it wasn't for like a line, but I got into a confrontation and I said, why don't you ask your girlfriend? And it was a guy next to him because I was doing that thing.
Yeah.
I said, do you want me to beat the fuck out of you in front of your little girlfriend over here?
You had to say little girlfriend.
And
like
no
5'7".
one wants that.
No.
That's rhetorical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But your way was classier.
I was, okay, so I went to the Royal Rumble and.
In Vegas?
No.
We're assuming everything you do is in Vegas.
And I wish. And we were sitting like ringside, which is like I always wanted to do. It's my birthday, and so you get seats. You get like the foldable seats.
What year is this?
This is a couple years ago. We were featured on the Ricochet, whatever when the Ricochet.
So are you?
Logan Paul and Ricochet collide. It cuts straight to.
So are you yelling what all the time?
No, but every time the guys
is what gone?
It's still there. But every time the guys would get close, my girlfriend would be like, kiss. And we
there
try
are
to
times.
Yeah. And there's also a time where the face gets close to the crotch and then she's like, suck his dick. So I try to get
his
those.
girlfriend's way cooler than him if you picked up on that.
So you get to take the seat home with you. That's like kind of the prize you get. And
wait, if you buy those seats, you keep the seats?
It's like a special commemorative chair.
Yeah.
That says like WWE WrestleMania on it.
And like
fold it up and walk
we were
out
like,
with it.
are we gonna take the seats home? I don't know.
One
kid comes up. Yeah. So
probably
it's
sell the
really
seat.
great is going on the plane the next day and seeing all the fucking dorks with their little seats in their hands. It's adorable. And so one kid comes up, he's like, hey, can I have your seat? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man, you can take it. And then I look over and then this girl takes our seat without asking and she walks away with it. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like walking by her and I'm drunk and I'm like poking her back and she's not even acknowledging me. And then finally she gets to her boyfriend and then I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? And he's like, oh, she doesn't speak English. I'm like, oh, sure about that? And he's like, he doesn't, she doesn't. And he looks at me, he goes, what's the problem? I go, you took my seat without fucking asking for it. And he goes, what do you want? And I go, I want you to ask me if you can have the seat. And he looks at me, goes, can I have the seat? And I go, yeah, you can. And I walked away and I was like, I'm such a man right now. I'm such a man.
But I love that.
Yeah.
Just be
just
nice.
Just ask.
I'd never been more
give
proud
it to
of
you.
him.
Just ask.
Be nice.
I think spit came out of my mouth like John Cena. Can you put that in? Okay. Okay.
Be nice.
Yeah, just be nice. Just ask. Like, stop taking and just ask. Like,
Not hard.
do you mind if I take the seat?
Drives me fucking
Please
nuts.
have it. Yeah.
I want
decency.
Oh, do you mind if I ask you a question about Vegas?
I do mind.
Damn it.
Okay, podcast is over.
Do you
Ask me a question.
Do you do the money trick when you check in?
What's the money trick?
Okay. What I'm about to tell you is going to
Just
sound
stays here.
awkward.
Okay.
But trust two things. One, it always works. And two, when done the way I say it, it's appreciated by the employee.
Okay.
When you check in, you can do this at any hotel, but Vegas, is the spot. You check in. They go, I need your credit card, I need your ID, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You put those on the little desk, the table thing in front of you. And then you take a 20 and you say, if you have any upgrades available, I'd love to take care of you. Which specifically that way for 2 reasons. One, don't be weird about it.
Right.
Everything in Vegas, I'm going to say this to camera. Everything in Vegas is free. They just decide whether or not they want to charge you for it. Mm. And depending on who you are, they won't charge you. Depending on what you do, they won't charge you. Depending on how famous you are, how many Instagram followers you have, they won't charge you. Every single thing is free. And every single person has some discretion in their job that can be related to their tip. Valet, where they put your car, the rooms when you check in. So you look at a person who's making hopefully $20 an hour, and you throw them an extra free hour's worth of work, and they get to pocket that money and keep it. The reason I know you don't fold it and put it with your thing is it's all on camera anyway. Yeah. And they don't care about tips. No, there's no like, did you take a tip for that? No one cares. So a woman at the Flamingo said to me, just set it on the counter, and because they will ask us anyway, and then we know what it is. And you say, if you have any upgrades, I'd love to take care of you, because they may say, I don't have any upgrades. And if they don't, you take that 20 back, but you still give them at least a 5 for looking.
Yeah.
Whether they lied to you or not, you just can't, you have to, some grease has to go on the wheel.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guarantee you, even that 5, you go up to your room and something's wrong, you go back down to that same person and you go, hey, they fucked up my room. They're going to move you instantly. Right. There might be some reason you still need that person later on, so you want to have given them a 5. Dude, I've gotten suites for 3 nights. Back at the old days at the Hard Rock at the HRH Tower.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah.
$20. At Cosmo, I get the wraparound corner.
Love that. Yeah.
Been upgraded the last 4 times I went there.
Really?
Just putting down $20 and saying, if you have any upgrades available, I would love to take care of you. I get anxiety, so I know what it feels like to be like, this is so fucking cringe to do this. But if you are worried about it, like giving someone $20, why are you in Vegas?
Right.
Don't. There's a great comedian in LA, John Gabris, and Gabris will always say like, I didn't bring $1,000 to Vegas to lose $200.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You two could do a master's class on Vegas and how to
My hack,
do it right.
Go see Chris Angel. It's amazing.
I did. He performed before the Raiders-Bears game.
Did he really?
That I went to
dude,
2 seasons ago.
Adorably problematic. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but it's adorably problematic.
The real show to see, though, is Absinthe.
Is that good? I always wanted to see
Absinthe is the best show you will ever see in Vegas. Okay. Guy who went to the 25th anniversary show with me, college roommate, Paul Lopez. Shout out Paul Lopez. Paul opened that show as the closing high wire act and was in that show for like 7.5 years. He's not in it anymore, but I've seen that show so many times, most of the time for free because of him. I've paid, since he's left the show, I've paid at least 4 times to go see it. Yeah. It is
that good.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Another thing, I would say you'll never regret the amount of money you spend on a good memory.
True.
Ever. Yes. Yeah. That's how I feel about the Stones. That's how I feel about this. You're with what?
Royal Rumble.
I thought you said Mitt Romney. I'm like, okay.
That's how I feel about Mitt Romney. Yeah.
Wonderful sound.
I mean, that's you put money towards
you.
Mitt.
Like you're there with a buddy. You're there with your kid when they get older. You're there with you're there with your girl. You will walk out of Absinthe. You'll have a couple drinks while you're there, and you'll be like, "What a great fucking time!" Yeah. And it's still 11:30 midnight, and you go fucking rage.
Yeah.
Oh. The best.
Well, that's what I told you about spending on experience once. Because one time I hope you don't mind saying this. He got to sit courtside at a game. Mm-hmm. Great. And he was like, I feel bad for bringing this up. I'm like, no, dude, never feel bad about that. That's what you should spend your money on.
I agree.
Yeah. If you start talking about like an $8,000 lampshade, I'm probably going to fucking headbutt you. But like,
but it's not a lampshade. I don't have kids, but just from all the nephews and all my friends who have kids, is there a better feeling than doing something with your kid that for months they won't stop talking about?
You got to take your kid. I think we talked about this on Monday to the Cubs thing, which is an amazing experience.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last podcast. I have a tradition in my family where we go to our first Cubs game around our 5th birthday. Yeah, 5 years old. Because my dad said you should remember your first time. I think it's right. You should remember your first time going to Wrigley Field. That's why whenever I see people there with their
I remember my
infants,
first time
that's
going.
for your Instagram. But yeah, so I was able to do that. I've taken them on a lot of really cool shit because.
But it's the
Like you're saying, it's experience.
Oh
and
my
it's, you know,
God.
that's what it's about.
When I went to courtside though, I was like,
What game? Who was it?
it was against the Bucks because I wanted to watch the Bulls.
Here?
The Bucks, yeah,
Okay,
here,
Bulls,
yeah.
Bucks, yeah.
And I was I was watching people across the street, and across the court, and there was two kids, and they were on their phone the whole time.
This is
yeah.
a whole other
They
thing
were
for
just
me.
like they're sitting there just being like,
when I see
I got to
like
do this
a
again.
4-year-old, a
Yeah.
5-year-old, like right behind the batter's box,
Yeah.
or like I'm like this is wasted on these kids.
You have no
Yes.
idea how good you have it, you know. And because like you also get there's a bar with food at United that you get to go to,
Okay.
and it's free food and free. And the same thing as the kids were just eating food and just being like, this isn't even good. I'm like, you have courtside fucking seats. You have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's so. When you're super wealthy, I think it must be so hard to instill gratitude in your
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
Because it
To
becomes the
instill
norm for them. Yeah.
To instill like when you know your family takes you down to Florida and you're a little kid and you're there for 6 days and one of the days you get to go to Magic Kingdom
Right.
and not the other parks.
Right.
And you're like, that's the fucking day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now look, is it amazing as a 7-year-old to stay on property at Disney World for all 7 days? Of course. I'm not wishing any kid didn't get to do that. But I think it must be hard when you have so much wealth because you have the things you want to do.
Right.
Why would I buy a 300 level? Although there's a weird part of me, maybe it's the way I've raised or maybe the way you guys are raised, where I feel like I would do some games in the 300 level so that they would be like, yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
But also it's special up here because there are a whole bunch of people who really
Yeah,
worked
We're
for these
diehards
tickets.
and they're the
yes,
real fans.
yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great way. It's a great way to create some well-rounded kids by letting showing them both sides. That's how you appreciate
are
things.
you trying to instill gratitude in your kids? Like, how do you do that? Be like, hey,
Yes.
this is a special thing.
I am adamant about you say thank you and all that kind of stuff. I'm so adamant about that. And I try to take life lessons of, like the other day, my son's like, why do I have to go to school every day? And I'm like, so you appreciate the weekend. That's why. Like you have to do these. Look, if every day is amazing, then no days are amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have some day because he was like, school's so boring sometimes. I'm like, sometimes you're gonna have a boring day. Sometimes you're gonna have a great day. But this is all the balance. Okay. To really appreciate and to look forward to things, you have to have some days that are just kind of boring. That's the way that goes.
Did you guys watch Succession?
Yeah.
I watched the first season and then I got to watch.
Do you mind if I
liked
say
it.
a line that he says? I won't give
No, go
context
ahead.
or anything. But there's a part where in the final season where the dad says, "You're to his kids, you aren't serious people," and I think that whole show is his disdain for his kids as adults, juxtaposed to the fact that he made them this way.
Yeah.
But like it's this thing of like, I've raised you on third base, but I want you to be an adult who doesn't live there on third base. And how do you do that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how do you say like, I'm going to give this all to you, but I want you to be a person who worked for it? That's impossible.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes you just almost have to have life slap them in the face for them to realize.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Joey Votto is one of my favorite baseball players of all time. He's on the Reds for a long time. I think he's retired this year. But there's this great story of him. A ball rolled over when he was in the on deck circle, and these two kids were like sitting in the best seats possible, like right on the dugout. And they're like, Joey, can we have it? Can we have it? And then he like kind of just gave him a quick look and then threw the ball like 15 rows back as far as he could. Obviously, he couldn't launch into the upper decks, hit someone. And then the kids were like, why couldn't we have it? And he looked at me and goes, you're in the front row. You don't need anything else. And that was like our sports writer nearby who wrote a big thing about it. And then he was like, yeah, I have no problems telling the kids in the front row that you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need this ball. Like, I just love.
But the thing is like, you don't like, they only know their perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like to the parent, it's like, yeah, you're right. But to the 9-year-old,
It's like the ball.
Joey's a dick.
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, I didn't pick these seats.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
that's where it gets tough though. But then hopefully they have a good enough parent to be like, no, he's right. Like, you know what I mean? Think about the kids who have to sit way back there. They should get
Sure,
a shot
I
at
agree.
some souvenirs
I agree.
too. And
Yeah.
you know, we're doing great. And that's where you hope that the parents will step in.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a good chance if the parents are douche the whole ride back, they're like, yeah, fuck Joey Votto. We'll sit third base side next time, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? So
There's a great scene in Succession too, where like when the guy's like, I just want to be one of like, I want to be like a normal guy, and he goes to, like a dive bar, and he's so uncomfortable. Remember that scene?
Yes, yeah.
He's just so uncomfortable because he's never like lived. He can't be a normal person because because he doesn't know how to be a normal person because he's never experienced normal people things.
It's like the movie Dutch.
I
Yeah,
fucking love
he
that
fucking
movie.
loves that movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Dutch is a great movie. And
Yeah.
It's all about a
O'Neill.
kid realizing like,
John Hughes wrote it, I believe.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
I'm not
Ed
sure.
O'Neill's
I'm not
so
sure
good.
that was clean underwear shoved in your mouth. As in the line.
Yeah,
Dude,
I do remember that scene.
car-
The card that I was do that. Yeah, I always wanted to do that.
The
yeah.
fireworks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Firework. Yeah.
I love it.
All right, I got to
Great
put
movie.
Dutch back on my list. I saw
It's-
it once.
it's a
and
good
I
one.
can't remember all the scenes you guys are saying.
It's nowhere. I don't think
can't
it's
find it
streaming
anywhere?
anywhere. I
It
think
used to
you
be-
get
I-
that
Oh,
on
I
DVD.
believe that it's
I
gone.
saw it
Yeah,
on Comedy
yeah.
Central when I was like a kid, like in the summer vacation when they would show like movies during the day on Comedy Central. I remember seeing it there. That was the only time I ever saw it. So I don't know. But I'd have to look high and far to find it, though. I'm glad
Yeah.
you mentioned dive bars, though, with Succession.
Oh.
Because before the podcast started, we all talked about it's hard for me to even consider it a dive bar, though. It really is, even though people have
But it
classified
is.
it. Old Town Ale House in
Jukebox.
Chicago, everybody.
Old Town Ale House.
Old
Yes.
school jukebox that only plays blues and jazz, I think.
Yeah,
pretty
You're
much.
not going to find anything too modern from there.
No.
One small TV in the corner, very
Mm-hmm.
small. I know because I remember watching a couple Cubs games when I took Second City classes when I was like 20, 21 years old. I'd go across the street. And all
Cash
these
only.
great paintings,
Cash only.
The paintings are
too.
cool as hell too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be paintings of like
You see boobs.
Bill Clinton getting his dick sucked by Monica Lewinsky. That's a painting.
A lot of Palin.
Sarah Palin with her bush
Mm-hmm.
showing, like just funny like stuff. All like a lot of political satire, and it's one of those places. That's why I wanted to get your take on it because I know how much you love the bar. I've told other friends of mine who've only been there once or twice. I'm like, no, it's the best bar, and they go, but why? What makes it the best bar? I think I just gave a good list, but I was wondering if you.
But
had
I think
something that you could pinpoint.
unless you get a night where it's like trendy night for some reason, which can happen sometimes
Sure,
because
yeah.
it's close to Old Town. It just feels unchanged. It feels
Yeah.
authentically
Yeah.
Chicago.
It's
There
great,
literally
like,
is
Tuesday bar,
history
too.
all over the walls.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
major person who came through Second City or it was a Chicago film, like I don't know, actor or actress or TV is hand painted on the wall, and there's other paintings. You just
Chris
feel
Farley, George Wendt.
Yes,
long
yeah, everybody.
list.
And
Del
Steppenwolf
Close.
was right there too, so it's like
Yes,
you get a lot of
yeah.
famous
And
actors.
Zanies
that
is
go-
around the corner,
Yeah,
and it just feels unchanged in a neighborhood that used to be the Haight-Ashbury of Chicago.
yeah.
People used to be like, "Oh, don't go through Old Town," right?
Right.
And Cabrini Green was like 6 blocks away.
Yeah.
I know you get off the Cedric stop and you're like, "You want to go left or right?"
Right.
So, and then eventually the city was like, "This is like really good property area. We
Yeah,
should
yeah.
just take care of this."
Yeah.
This is way too close to everything nice.
Yeah.
It's my absolute favorite place. The bartenders there are almost always there when I'm there. I remember last time I was talking to one of them, and he's like, I said, "How's life?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'm still here. Every time you come back, I'm still here." And I said, "I know, but I keep coming back."
Mm.
I go, "We're both. My loop's the same as your loop, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're still here, and I'm still like."
Yeah.
And I at a time in my life in 2010. I was dating a girl who I don't say lightly or to be funny had like a mental break, and as a result, like threw me out, and I had nowhere to go, and I was working a temp job off the fucking Rosemont stop at a collection agency. I know. But I was on the admin side. I wasn't like calling people. I was just
Yeah.
like filing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd go there. I'd have to leave in the morning at like 5 to be there by 6, and then would work all day and then go to Second City at night. And I worked in the back there. I wasn't main stage or ETC or anything. I did a little small monthly show in the DeMont Theater.
Oh, cool.
And Second City just like saved me. It's all I had. I ended up living, and my cousin had moved in with her fiance, but she had still paid out on her apartment. So she's like, "You can go there. It's completely empty." So I had like a box fan and an air mattress and like clothes, whatever I could fit into my Pontiac Grand Am. And I lived above 4 Farthings. Do you guys remember that bar? I loved that bar. And so Second City, and by extension, Old Town Ale House, like became a place for me to go.
Yeah.
And I think being able to like still walk in there and have it all feel the same, and that it's a 4 a.m. bar.
Yeah.
So that is so uniquely Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Except for obviously Saturday, it's a 5 a.m. bar, and if you're affiliated with Second City and know them, it becomes you guys are okay, but we're locking the door bar.
Yeah. That's a cool time too, because that's when Second City felt small. Like when before they did the big addition, when it was like
oh yeah,
there
for
was only
sure.
like 4 classrooms, and it just
I
you
never
felt
took
like
a
you were
class
part of-
there.
Really,
And the cast was stacked. I mean, this is when Tim Robinson is the understudy for
that was around the time I
Brad
was going
Morris and Andy St. Clair and Sam Richardson
Andy
and
St. Clair
Mary
is so funny.
Sohn. And,
Yeah.
oh god, dude, it was just
and like Brennan Jennings and
Brennan Jennings, just bang. Tim Baltz, just banger, bang. There was a show in the ETC when I was working there called "The Absolute Best Friggin' Time of Your Life," and that is to this day one of the greatest sketch shows I've ever seen. Period.
Yeah.
And you know, all those guys are so cool, and they were so great to the staff. You know, even though I'm just basically a bar back or an usher or making nachos, whatever it was that night. Everybody would hang out at the Ale House afterwards. And I've been told recently that doesn't like happen as much anymore.
So.
Like
every time I've been
the
there,
cast doesn't come over. But when I went there, man, I just loved it. And
it's become more like a stand-up hangout than
comedians have been hanging out there a lot more lately.
Yeah.
I'm not to plug on top of Rose Gold. That you can watch right now on YouTube, Daniel Van Kirk Comedy, YouTube.com. But I'm doing a week of shows. I think we're calling it the Hub City Comedy Week in July. And the kickoff party is going to be there.
Oh, nice.
And probably the closing night party.
Yeah.
And then my own personal party will probably be there every night. I will probably go there tonight after I shot my special Rose Gold at the Lincoln Lodge. We went there. It's just, I don't know. It's not to be like too corny about it, but there's certain places that just feel, I don't know, eat, pray, love.
It's like home. Yeah, it's got a homey feel to it. It really does.
But also brings you back to that time.
And is there anything better than when you take someone else to one of your spots?
Yes.
And when you get there, they look at you like, oh, this like is your like. I walked up once and one of the bartenders was out front smoking a cigarette. And they're like, hey, so we walked in, like, what are you having? And then like, there's times that I'll order and they'll be like, $10.
Yeah.
And obviously, just for anybody who thinks that's going to happen for you, it won't. And it also only happens because I take care of my bartenders.
Right.
Do that.
So yeah.
And you also take care of your comedy. Rose Gold, everybody. Check
Thanks,
it out.
buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I absolutely love that. And there's other places in the city like that too. I feel like you, like I was gonna say restaurants, but it feels like a pun. Like you're eating nostalgia. Like I know how basic bitch it is, and I also am one. But I try to go back to Baba every time I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
There's a reason that place is so popular.
Yeah.
Because it's great. It's always great. It always hits. Always hits. I haven't been there since they reopened, but I felt that way about Cody's.
I love Cody's.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He used to live around the corner from Cody's.
Yeah, Cody's is one of my favorite bars because when the owner Gino,
so is it same owners?
No,
Okay.
new owners. He's it just
But is
closed
it same?
one day.
Is it same? I know.
Out of nowhere, and it's
Because I would go to Chicago's around the corner on Lincoln, get myself a couple of stuffed slices. I call it deep dish. They call it stuffed. They're stuffed in their deep dish. I don't understand the difference.
I don't really.
It's people shit on Chicago's. I don't care.
It's good.
I love it.
It's good.
I'll go deep dish stuffed chicken and mushroom.
Oh yeah,
unreal.
Yeah.
Put the pepper in their sausage. Anyway, I'd go around the corner and then duck into Cody's, play a little photo hunt.
Yeah, they don't have photo hunt there anymore.
What are we doing?
Jonah has it upstairs.
I have a photo hunt upstairs.
I clocked.
Yeah.
You clocked that
Yeah,
shit.
the nudie photo hunt. Like Cody's is great too because like it was nice because when Gino was there, he'd sit on the other side of the bar and watch the Cubs games. And when you'd walk in, he'd like look at you and he'd just be like, "What do you need?" And then it's just kind of like a beer. He's like, "Fine." And then he like would walk and give you beer. Like you felt like you're interrupting him at his place.
You're in his living room.
Dude, I've been to bars in Wisconsin that are people's living rooms.
Yeah.
They live upstairs. Their living where they hang out and watch TV is downstairs.
Yeah.
There's a bar where they decide every day what they're serving. Like you can go, can I get a Jack and Coke? We're not serving that today.
Yeah.
Because they just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up
my
a bar
cousin lives
called the
above
Living
a
Room
bar
now.
like that.
Really?
Yeah, in Pewaukee, and he just goes down, eats, and they know him. And
My favorite, dude.
yeah,
The bar that I've probably trying to be an adult, like pre-Second City, that I've been the most fucked up in is Burwood Tap.
yeah, hell yeah.
Do you guys remember when Burr would tap, I think it was $40, all you can drink from 9 to midnight.
Seriously?
Shots were included.
Yeah.
And they had the front bar and the back bar, and then the most inconvenient pool table in the world.
Yeah.
In between the two bars. And the popcorn machine. Dude, we would go there every Friday night. $40.
Yeah.
There was a bar called Union on Halstead that we used to go to up the street from like DePaul University that would do a similar thing from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
That's
They were trying to get people in early.
I never knew
And it
about
was
that
like
one. I'm glad I
$25,
did not know.
Yeah.
25?
It was even cheaper. It was crazy.
Can I be 100% honest with you? I said 40 because it feels more realistic, and there's a part of me that thinks it was 20.
probably
but
25.
but that is crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts.
But I don't remember having $40.
Yeah.
So that's crazy for me to think I had $40.
Yeah.
So it probably was 20.
It's insane when I think about like how much I used to drink in college and like how did I afford that? I don't understand.
It was cheaper.
Because I was making no money.
FSA loans.
Well, there's
you got that
I think there's a
FSA
bar,
check.
No, like on Water Street in Milwaukee, I think there was a bar called Cody's as well.
Okay.
That is their happy hour is $1 beers and $1 mixed drinks, and their happy hour went from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m.
There used to be a place up
So
off.
that's just
day.
your price.
That's
That's
your
just
day,
your price.
yeah.
There used to be a place off Granville called the Pumping Station. And
Yeah.
they would do penny pitchers. They were the
Yeah.
only bar I ever knew that was what all my friends were doing in Champaign or Macomb, like getting crazy. Because you go to college here, you never got any sort of student life really.
Yeah.
And you would just go to bars that 30-year-olds were also going to. There was never like that vibe. Or like
college.
Joe's
Yeah,
on
by
Weed
the
Street.
ball.
Joe's on Weed Street would do it. Well, when I was in college, I went to a community college. In
Where'd you
Chicago,
go?
to Wright College, just a community
Okay,
college.
yeah.
And then, but we'd go down to DePaul University and go bar hopping.
Yeah.
From every
Kincaid's.
fucking bar.
Kincaid's, great
Irish
bar.
Eye.
Kincaid's used to do a
Station,
euchre night.
Really?
Yeah.
Kelly's.
You both know how to play euchre, right?
No, I don't.
I don't.
Suck
And
euchre.
trust
I
me,
don't know how to
it's
play euchre.
annoying playing people that play euchre because they get very mad at you if you don't get it right away, and it's annoying.
Wait, you really
my
don't
girlfriend
know?
loves euchre. She's like obsessed with it, and her friends are too. And I try to play with them.
Would
They
you
yell at
ever
me. I
wanna
cried.
learn?
I cried. Yes.
Eventually.
I kind of know.
Yeah.
We should do a live stream
Oh, that'd be
Euchre?
fun.
of the three of us and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
No,
one
'cause
of
she's
you will
gonna
be
be
my
me,
partner,
and
one
you'll
of
cry
yours.
too. Yeah.
And it'll be us teaching you how to play euchre.
Yeah.
While
Just
we
process the whole time.
drink.
Yeah.
We'll do it at Galway Bay Pub because I feel like Daniel would love Galway Bay.
Yeah, have you been
'Cause
to
mentioned
Galway?
you mentioned
Never even
popcorn
heard of
machine.
it.
That's a big stand-up
It's
bar.
at 500 West Diversey, and it's a basement bar.
Built
It's
in the
owned
last
by-
10 years.
No, it's
it's
probably
been around
been for a while now, but it's kind of like a little
Galway
bit hidden.
Arms?
Galway,
No.
Galway Arms is still around, but
Yeah.
Galway Bay Pub it's called. It's owned by our boy Nolan, who's from Ireland, and
Been on your
he's a
pod?
fucking character
Dude,
in his own
he's
right.
like an
One of the funniest
Irish,
dudes you ever meet.
Irish-born, like street fighter, like
Just
not like
fucking-
bare knuckle fighter.
We had a guy, when I
the best
worked
fucking
door at
dude.
Cubby Bear, we had a guy like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This dude's just like, I mean, the best. He's so funny.
That's how he started off and how he got to own the place.
Where's it at?
It's on Diversey. You know where Duffy's, that big old bar is?
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
like half
Duffy's
a block
still
from
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like half
Yeah.
a block from there.
He's funny, man. Like there was a while there he wouldn't hire female bartenders, and I was dating this girl who was a bartender, and she went to Nolan and was like, "Hey, if you ever need a female bartender, I'd love to bartend." He goes, "I don't hire women," and she goes, "Why not?" He goes, "Because I can't punch them in the face when they fuck up." And then he
For legal reasons, we'll say he's kidding, and that's
He was
never
kidding. I
happened.
mean, it was
But
good.
if you think about like the UK, it almost always is male bartenders.
yeah.
It's a very like American thing to have all female bartenders.
Yeah. It's crazy because like in Chicago, I've dated a lot of bartenders. They would have to send headshots to get hired at bars.
I got lucky.
In some
I
bars.
bartended for 6 years in LA, and I just got with like a good group of dudes who
Yeah.
own bars and didn't do any of that
Yeah.
shit of like
Oh, it's crazy. Like
audition, like
Yeah, 'cause
they
visually-
consider you a
visually
bartender, you're
audition.
something
Yeah.
else, they call it.
you have to get a
like
headshot
they're
for a fucking
casting you.
bartending job.
I
Yeah, it's a
never
different thing.
went through that run of Chicago, like the Billy Deck like heydays of like waiting in line.
Yeah.
Like I know this is like the dumbest one to say, but like Excalibur.
Mm,
That's how
Old
little
school.
I know about that
Yeah.
whole scene.
Yeah.
But there is that whole
I was part
side
I
of
was-
Chicago.
Yeah, I went through that because
Yeah.
not to name drop, but you guys all did some cool name dropping. I
I'm
hung
sorry.
out with a lot of the Blackhawks during their run. In like
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like in 2012, 2013.
You were at the Pony,
I was in at the
I-
Pony for
I used to
2010,
run a
but I
show
was
at
at
the
the
Pony.
I was
Yeah.
at the so the
but
guy,
you went to the Pony that night.
I didn't go in
I was there.
2010. I went to the Scout in 2013. I started hanging out with them a few months after they won in 2010. And so I went running around. Like the guy who co-owned the Pony started a bar in the South Loop called the Scout. So when they won in 2013, they all went to the Scout. That's where I was there waiting.
Remember that energy though in 2010?
It was phenomenal.
It was so sweet.
It was so
Dude,
great.
it was so cool when they were at the Pony because they just renovated their upstairs bar, and there was a big window that opens up to the street. So everybody was out in the street, and they were just like dumping champagne on everybody.
Yeah,
it was
holding up the cup.
so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
What a time.
There's a great thing on the cover of one of the websites, either Tribune or Sun-Times website. It showed like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves like with the cup, like pouring alcohol into it. And then my friend started texting me being like, "You piece of shit." I'm like, "What?" I didn't even notice. I'm just looking at the picture, and they had to circle it. I was like right behind them, like fucking looking up like a dumbass.
So
I remember seeing Billy Deck at like Underground.
The very
Bar,
first thing I
places.
say in Rose Gold.
Do the whole thing right now.
Last night, no, just the first word. The very first thing I say in Rose Gold when I did the live chat when it premiered, just whenever you guys are hearing this recently, I asked as a joke. I go 10 points to anybody who can tell me the reference of why I said that word that way, because I'm going to say it to you guys and you'll get it. No one got it. So I grabbed the mic. I'm in the Lincoln Lounge. It's hottest show I've ever been. I mean, it was insane. If you ever ask Kyle Scanlon about it, he's like, dude, that was fucking. I mean, he could have just done the whole thing, and he was like, I think, can I use that for my hour?
Yeah,
It was wild. Such great audiences, both of them. I grabbed the mic and I go, Chicago, and it was exactly like, I think it was Kane's speech when he gets on the mic and he yells it out like that long. And I've always, ever since then, it's my favorite way to yell the city, and no one ever gets the reference. But I think it's the same one where he says, "That's hockey, baby," right?
Yeah. I'm picturing it because for whatever reason, they have the players all wear their jerseys for the parade, but he was wearing like a baby blue like golf polo that was like sticking out of a red hockey, they call them a sweater, but he was fucking. That dude's been sober for like 3-4 years now. Because a bunch of the Blackhawks came to a show about a year and a half, 2 years ago that I did. And like a group of like 10 of them. And he was one of them, but he took off as soon as it ended, where the other 9 players, the club kept open and we drank until all hours of the night. So that was a lot of fun. But I was just like, oh, where did Kane go? They're like, oh, he's sober. He doesn't stick around for this shit anymore. I'm like, well, that makes sense because he had a run like no other. He had like one of the all-time benders during that weekend. There's like certain players, like hockey players and soccer players. This guy, Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Fucking,
I love stories like that. Like,
dude, it was just like
old Brett
insane.
Favre stories are
just
insane.
how fucking wasted they would get. Real quick, Austin, how much time do we have? What are we at?
At 52. I was about to flash you.
Okay, because I did want to end. Normally we just kind of keep it free flowing like this.
Sure,
but
I'll do
since
whatever
you're
you
such a great movie guy, and we dig your opinions on movies, and that's how you two met, right? Through doing.
You were, yeah.
I was a guest on Doug Love's Movies.
Yeah.
The weekend that Tommy Johnigan was
there.
Yeah, headlining comedy on stage.
you
And
were
that's
the-
when we
Yeah, we
host.
bonded over Wisconsin.
Fuck yeah. All right, cool. I just wanted to get that backstory.
You
for
can also
guys.
watch my movie Wine Club. It's out available right now. Go to
See?
Amazon
There
Prime.
we go.
Yeah.
All the more
It came
reason.
out in December.
Amazing.
It's a fun little rom-com.
It sounds good. Where could you find it again?
Thanks. Prime.
Prime. All right. I just wanted to double check. I wanted everyone to hear
You
it.
said me in a rom-com sounds good. What's wrong with that, Jonah?
I just think it's funny. I don't
No,
know.
because it took.
Sometimes Joe does something that just makes me laugh.
Well, yeah, he knows.
Because he goes, "That sounds good."
It took a second for me to process.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It's like,
Yeah.
rom-com.
It's
Yeah,
him
that does
going.
sound good.
He's going. You said a thing.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. No, it sounds good. Anyways,
All
I got a
right.
question
What
for you.
is it?
Well, we were talking movie debates, Jonah and I, not that long ago, and I was late to the game on 2 movie franchises, but I've watched both the movie franchises within the last few months. John Wick and The Equalizer, Denzel.
Oh,
So then it made me think, like, I really do like those style of movies. So we had like a hypothetical. I would like to hear your thoughts on it.
okay.
Jason Bourne, it's a 4-way match. It's Jason Bourne versus John Wick versus Liam Neeson from Taken versus Denzel from Equalizer. Who do you think wins that fucking battle?
Have you guys already answered this?
No.
We have not. No, I wanted to wait to have the right guest. You were that right guest.
Do they all
This is a rose gold.
like?
question.
Is this like? Not that this would benefit Keanu, but are like they in that white room with all the weapons from the Matrix, or is it
Good
just?
question.
Or is
That's
it
a great
just?
question.
Yeah, where is this? Yeah.
Do they all get a weapon of choice to walk in with?
I feel like
Because like
because with
John
guns,
Wick does
like,
all
John
that. He
Wick
does all
with
that gun
guns.
fu stuff.
He's just with
Yeah.
the guns and shit. So, all right, maybe we give John Wick one handgun,
Okay.
right? Because he can't go in without a weapon. I feel
Yeah.
like. I mean, he could
Does
fight. don't
Denzel
me
get to have a
wrong.
watch?
Okay, can we
course Denzel
agree?
gets the
Can we
watch.
agree that Liam Neeson is out first?
He's out first.
He's out
He's
first.
old.
I
Yeah.
was looking for a fourth
knee's
that I
broken.
probably
He's
could have
done.
found. Jason Statham in some movie, but I just wanted to throw Neeson in
Tom
there.
Cruise, Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's more like
I don't think he,
Tom
I don't
Cruise
think
is
that, I don't
shitty.
think
that doesn't
Ethan
fit the
could hold
category
his
of these
own.
guys.
What about
Ethan Hunt? You know where he's from? Wisconsin.
Is he?
He's-
He
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Wisconsin.
They
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it in the very first movie that his parents in Wisconsin have been arrested when they try to
Right.
like manipulate him into
What's the best
turning
one?
himself
3?
in.
Is it 3?
I love 5.
5's good. Yeah.
Isn't 5 this?
I think so.
That's
That's 6?
Yeah, that one's fucking Fallout.
With the helicopter?
yeah,
That
Fallout's
is, yeah, Fallout.
one
I
was
think
good. First
Fallout.
scene in 3 though with what's his name?
Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour
Yeah.
Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Killer. Yeah.
Come on.
I'd hurt her.
So good.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I don't consider Ethan
good.
Hunt part of that. Like we're like John Wick and
Well,
fucking
what about
Denzel in the
Transporter?
Equalizer.
Or
Transporter.
Transporter.
I guess we could if we wanted to
Well,
replace.
Beekeeper. We put Beekeeper in there.
Well, Beekeeper's not a trilogy.
Did you
yet.
see Beekeeper?
Yeah, it did.
I did.
Do you like it?
No.
No, it's
Really?
not
You
good,
didn't
right?
like
It's
it?
not good. It's not good.
I thought it was a good popcorn flick. I saw it at 11 a.m. in St. Charles, Missouri, while I was doing a weekend there. So
I think
It's bad. I
that
wanted
is
to love
one
it.
of
I
the
didn't think it was bad.
craziest, dumbest movies I've ever seen.
Oh
now,
my God.
not that I thought I was going in to see
Yeah, what
cinema,
were you expecting? Yeah.
Right.
but it was beyond.
Good director
It was
too.
beyond. It was
Be-
there you
Beyond.
go.
Yeah, there it
you
is.
go.
Yeah.
That probably
Yeah.
is the sequel.
Beyond.
Beekeeper
Beyond. Yeah.
Beyond the Beast.
My early money is on John Wick,
Right.
specifically
power.
because you've seen them all now.
Yes.
Just the stair
He
scene
gets
alone.
his ass kicked so
Seriously,
many
it's
times.
insane.
Though.
When he falls down the last time, I out loud laughed.
So
in the
funny.
theater. And I think you're supposed to.
You're supposed to. Yeah.
but
Everybody's
do the
laughing.
line. Do the line that's just so poorly done. You know, the John Wick line that you've done before. Do it.
I think I'm back.
Yeah, yes, that one.
He's mad at me.
Well, no, because he always has
Yeah,
to like.
I
instead
think
of
I'm-
I set him up,
Right,
and then he's
yeah,
like,
right,
"That one,
right.
yeah, the only one I've ever heard you do. Yes,
Yeah.
that one. Do you have more?
People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah. I think I'm back. That one? I think I'm back.
I think it's because he seems to not die,
No.
and I think
He should have died in 3. That's why I was so mad about 3. He should have died.
I think
then.
Denzel's character goes out second, but he
Yeah.
goes out sort of like Obi-Wan style,
And he knows when he goes out too.
and yeah, he like says a thing about
Yeah.
it. He's like, you want me to die?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What is that?
All
Denzel?
right. All right. Okay.
My man.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, my man.
You want
My
me to
man.
die? You want
Yeah.
me to die? Okay.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
gonna
Okay.
die.
You want me to die? Oh, you want me?
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
gonna die. So I think he goes out like holding on to somebody's wrist and like
yeah.
blood's been coming out of his thing.
Yeah.
I just feel.
I think Wick.
I think Wick
Wick's
takes it
number
all.
one, right?
I think if it's just hand-to-hand combat, there's no way Jason Bourne doesn't destroy all of them.
Yeah, but he has to be like in a close corridor. So what if it's far away?
Well, that's
Not good.
Well, that's why I said hand-to-hand
Yeah.
combat. You can't do that far
Yeah.
away.
You can do that far away.
Yeah.
You can do
you
that.
don't really connect as much.
You don't
you
hit
can
as much.
do it.
Yeah, yeah. You just look like an idiot though the whole time.
Jason Bourne is a badass, but he didn't.
And he's forgetful though.
He is a bit forgetful.
Mhm.
What a great movie!
Mm-hmm.
When that fight scene in that apartment, him and that dude.
Oh,
so
with the
good.
with the magazine.
yes,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Hell yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, if you go no guns,
I don't see how John Wick wins.
I don't. Yeah,
Because look, as great as John Wick is, there's so many scenes where it's like, oh, you're getting your fucking ass handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he got saved a couple times. I mean, Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe had to save him in the first one, right? Was it the first one that Willem Dafoe was in? Yeah. So like, where, you know, if we're thinking ultimate badass, what made the Equalizer so cool is, well, Denzel's so fucking smooth.
the watch.
The watch
watch.
thing,
The
timing
watch
it
is-
out,
what was
fucking
that?
people up with weird ass shit, like whatever was
Mhm.
nearby, he was able to like create weapons with. That's why I kind of like in those movies. Where Wick is just pure rage. I have to get to these motherfuckers. It feels like a video game where you got to conquer each level. That's why we like the
100%.
raid so much. The raid is
Yeah.
so good. If there was a third raid, I'd figure out what the fuck that main dude's name is, and then put him in.
You
this
guys watch?
category.
You ever watch Ip Man?
No.
Yeah.
You've seen that? I've not seen
We're
that.
fucking great.
That's fucking badass.
yeah.
I gotta
That dude
check
is
that out.
unreal, and he's in John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
really?
he's the blind guy.
He is the blind guy.
Fuck, I just wrote my
Johnny
arm.
Yen.
Yes,
His name
I
is
believe
incredible. So
Close
good.
enough for me.
Yeah.
Is that new?
Yeah, yesterday. I got it yesterday at like 1 o'clock.
I love it.
Yeah, it's the
You guys
Chicago
know-
Park District.
Yeah, I got yesterday
My
at 1
dad
o'clock.
worked for the Park
Yeah.
I
District.
know when I
I wish it was like 1:15. I got it yesterday 1:15. It's like, so
1
I-
o'clock is the fucking time that people say.
I know.
when
Just didn't wanna get
when I miss Chicago, I watch WTTW Jeffrey Bear like giving tours of the city.
Oh, that's cool.
They're all on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can
And I also own them on DVD because I'm a nerd.
Oh yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, I know that logo. Yeah. It's like every episode at some point he has to tie it into Devil in the White City. It always comes up in every tour of no matter what he's giving.
That's the reason I've never read that book. Because when it came out, everyone wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Devil in the White City.
It came out back in the day when everyone on the L was reading.
Yeah.
That was.
Remember when? What was that? Was it the Red Eye?
The Red Eye
They
was
used to
a
give
free
us all when
newspaper.
we'd walk. Because I worked
Yes.
for the Chicago Reader.
Oh,
You
did
did?
you?
Yeah, and that
Whoa.
killed them.
Well, the
Mm.
Red
That
Eye
and
was
the
such a
internet.
big deal.
Because the Reader was owned by old men who just got. I'm not taking much away from them, but they hit the right time, and they used to not even have outside salespeople
Yeah.
because they just needed people to answer the phones. Everyone to advertise. The Reader was like used to be like this thick, and then the internet
Catalog.
came, and they were like,
Yeah.
we don't need to. That's not our business. I'm like, well, that business is gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked for the Reader.
Well, it used to be like the
And the
show
Red
that
Eye
we
was-
produced together, Comedians You Should Know. If you got listed in the Red Eye, we were like, we're sold out.
Yeah.
We knew immediately. Because
Yeah.
on Monday, they would do like their picks for the week. And we were a Wednesday night show. And they'd be like, Wednesday night, go to Comedians You Should Know. That's the best comedians in the city. And that would be Monday morning. They would come out. Monday by noon, sold out.
Mhm.
Like, it was always the best. And that's what's missing right now. And kind of like,
Now it's
media
influencers.
for
Now
art.
influencers will sell shows out. It's
Yeah, there's-
great.
100%.
Yeah, I have a show, like a movie show at the Lincoln Lodge that got picked up by an influencer, and we're sold out for 4 months straight now.
no,
Like 4 months ahead. Like we're sold out until July.
Who was our final pick on these guys?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to leave that.
all right. Well, so you got John Wick 1, Denzel 2, Jason Bourne 3. You really have Jason Bourne going 3? And then
No. The Last Standing
Yeah.
is Wick
Yeah.
Wick
against Bourne.
Against
Wick versus
Bourne.
Bourne.
Okay.
Then before or after whatever. Denzel
Denzel.
dies before
And then
that.
obviously
And
we
Liam's
got-
like, I mean, he's dead right
Liam-
away.
Liam Neeson
he's
we
like,
got rid
he's
of.
in
Yeah,
the
he's
grave.
like,
Because is he because of his age? If this was
No,
like
he's like,
Liam
I don't
Neeson-
have any of these skills.
Yeah.
I can't win in this
I
battle.
keep losing my daughter. Whoopsies.
Yeah, he does. His heart's not in it because none of them have his daughter.
Yeah, right.
So his
Yeah,
heart,
yeah.
he's
So
not
it's like
really.
he's done.
He's not really in it.
So
but if one of them took his daughter, then
Oh well,
then-
that'd
be
be
bad,
a different
yeah.
deal.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I,
All right,
he
just wanna be clear
he
on
might go out third rather
yeah,
than. Or, I
he's
mean,
like
second.
the Jordan of those guys, where he
He's
has
gotta
to
take
like,
it personal,
You got to take
right?
it personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That question's so good. And I say this with love. It's almost not fun.
we never did it before, and that was the first time we
Yeah.
did it. And it's
No,
like,
because
damn
I'm
it.
saying it's
No,
like
I hear you.
you can't. Fuck, that's hard.
But John Wick,
hard.
like he'll die trying. You know what I mean? Like
No,
he
I
just keeps
love
going.
John Wick, but I remember
It's that.
watching
Is it
And he's a
like
good driver
is
too.
like does John Wick win, but is mortally wounded?
Mortally. I mean, that's how he has. Yes, I think that everybody dies. Everybody dies at the end.
That's just how it ends.
That's
right?
how it ends. Yeah.
Do you think he's dead in the fourth one? You think he's coming back?
I think he's coming back. He's in he's in the
The
new
ballerina one.
Yeah, he has a
Who
cameo in
wants
there.
to see that?
It's so stupid. I don't know.
I don't want to see it.
Roadhouse. What'd you think? New one.
So bad.
What? Watch it. I've watched it twice. It's great. It's
Why?
great the second time because the first time I watched it, I was on my phone. I didn't like it. The second time, I'm like,
Well,
I'm gonna
that's
pay-
always.
I'm going to
man.
pay attention here. And Conor McGregor is hilarious because he is.
He's
you
the
can
worst
see.
actor,
Did
right?
you
can
watch it,
see
John?
him.
I've not seen it yet. No.
Don't.
You can see Connor in his brain go, don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera. And there's a couple times he looks straight down the barrel, and it's just amazing. And he's so good
Oh,
in
that's
it.
spiking the lens.
Yes, spiking the
That's the
lens.
term.
I just. It didn't really have any heart, and I like Gyllenhaal.
It's weird because it has nothing to do with the bar at all. Like
No.
the bar doesn't change. There's no growth that happens.
Also, she has $10,000 to pay him,
Right.
or was it 20?
Yeah. Yes. 5,000 a week for 4 weeks.
She can't.
Use that money just to fix up the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like get somebody else.
How's she making that kind of money? That bar clearly is not bringing a lot of people, and she has to pay the bands. She has a different band every week.
They have a house band like the blind guy in the original Roadhouse.
Yeah.
That guy could sing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Did
just bought his album.
I mean, that line in that movie. What did he say? I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
Fuck, I see you in prison. Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was great.
That's
You're like-
disarming.
Oh, yeah. And then you kind of like, I could see that.
Like if I said that to the guy in the Anthonyum,
yeah.
even like, even like,
Fuck,
what?
guys like you in prison. And you look at you be like, Roadhouse?
I'd be like,
yeah,
you sure?
man.
You sure?
And then
You,
you guys are best friends.
Yeah, you best press
you
friends.
sure you want to stand right in front of me? 'Cause
Right.
Right in front of me?
Yeah.
Because I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
Right.
You really want to stand right in front of me?
He's fuck guys like you in prison.
That might be the greatest line of all time. Now that I
It
think
is
about
so weird.
it. It's just so
He says it as a
insane.
threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like matter of fact.
It's like you.
I mean, it's not even, yeah, he's just like, I used to fuck guys. He said it more matter of fact, where he's just like, I used to fuck guys like you in
But also,
prison.
he doesn't say that like he necessarily is doing the fucking.
Yeah.
Like that's a guy I fuck.
Yeah.
But like that's the act of fucking.
Yeah.
So is that guy fucking you? Which, no shade either way.
It's fine.
But I'm just saying, he's not clear. Like it'd be one thing if he said, I used to get guys like you to fuck me in prison. But then you understand who's in what role.
Yeah.
Because if you were
That's
like,
a weird role, though.
like if you're like, see a girl, like, oh yeah, we used to have sex.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that just means you're engaged in the act of sex.
Do you think there's guys in prison that like won't admit that they fucked? Like, because like one guy's too ugly, they won't admit they fucked him. You know what I mean? Like
It's about domination.
Yeah, that we're like, you know, like where you know.
Can I say something that
you can say whatever
doesn't
you
get
want,
us
man.
canceled? I've thought about this before. People are like, I don't want to go to prison because I don't want to get raped, right? But we never hear from the guys that are like, I don't want to go to prison because I'm going to rape.
Yeah, can't wait to rape. Yeah.
Because somebody's got to be on the other side of that who's like, when I get to prison, I'm just going to rape guys.
Yeah. Like,
But we only ever hear from the victim.
Yeah, it's about mentality.
I suppose the other people just aren't saying
I feel
much.
like those are the guys that
They
are
aren't saying anything.
Miss prison when they get out. They're like, I can't rape anybody anymore.
But they do. They get to go back to
go
prison.
back to it.
And
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's the rape to rape pipeline.
Did
man.
you guys ever watch 60 Days In? I know we're over. I'm sorry.
No, there you go.
It's a whole
all right,
other
man.
fucking show.
No,
having a
but
good
Shot
time.
Caller's good too.
The
Did you see
reality
Shot
show
Caller?
where they would just put people in prison?
No.
That's like my nightmare. I have I have nightmare dreams about being in prison.
I do think it's about your mindset though, because I remember like if you're the guy that's like, I got to go to prison and I'm just going to rape a bunch of guys in prison. It reminds me of one time I got into a road rage thing. A friend of mine in my car was like,
I
hey,
saw
dude.
one today.
Did you?
Really bad. I'm like,
Bad
oh,
one?
I'm just going to watch these two guys kill each other. I mean, they were bad.
Well, I was driving. This car cut me off and like yelled a bunch of shit out the window, called me a pussy and all this stuff. And then it started to pull away, and I got like held that steering wheel even tighter. And my buddy was like, "Dude, hold on, man. You don't know this guy." And I looked at my friend without blinking and said, "He doesn't know me." And I fucking just went right. I got on his bumper. I drove him like almost off the road. This dude. And I don't know what happened there, man.
One night, I'm driving. Probably had a couple more pops than I should. I wasn't hammered, but I wasn't responsible.
Buzz driving is not drunk driving in my book, so you're fine. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm probably coming up maybe Halstead. I don't know. I'm heading north. Could have been Clark. Anyway, I'm driving. My cousin and my best friend are in the car. This person's riding my ass. We get to a stoplight. I get out. And I go, what? What?
Yeah.
And they just like look at me like this. And I get back in. And my cousin and my best friend were like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I go, I don't know what their deal is. They're like, yeah, you don't know what their deal is, dude. Right. But I just couldn't. I just go, what? What?
What do you want?
And I said to them, I go, I didn't get out and go, fuck you, you want to fucking do this. But they were like, yeah, but you got out. Like, you don't know how, like how eager they are to use this gun or whatever.
You gotta have
but I
sometimes.
just was like, what? Maybe I romanticize like us being Chicago guys, but I always tell people there's two types of Chicago guys and women, sure. But it's couldn't be nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Until you tell me to not be nice to you. Mm-hmm. Or couldn't be more of an asshole until for some reason they're nice to you. There was a guy at Second City. We'd pass each other. Like when I first started working there. And I'd be like, hey, man. Would walk right by me. I go, how's it going? Would walk right by me. And I was like, oh, you're an asshole, Chicago guy. Mm-hmm. So for 3 weeks, never fucking said a word to the dude. We'd be in like a group thing and I'd make a joke or whatever, like waiting to like close out or leave Second City. And he'd comment and I'd just be like, yeah, and whatever. And then after about 3 weeks, he was like, dude, come with us to the ale house. I was like, oh, you're one of those guys that like, I have to like be a hard ass.
Yeah.
Because you don't trust kindness.
Yeah.
So I have to be a hard ass before you go, oh, I could trust this guy because I'm rude.
Right.
But then the other side is what I think I am, which is very approachable, very gregarious, very nice. And as soon as you go like, hey, we're closed, I'll go, yeah, well, your door's open and you don't have a close sign.
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah, but we're closed right now. I go, you're also pretty fucking bad at running a business. Like as soon as you're rude, I have no problem going the other way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's some of it too, where it's like, no, like if I know you're in an emergency, go around me.
Right.
Like I'll help you get to the hospital.
Yeah.
But if you like ride up on me, I'm going to be like, what's your fucking problem?
Yeah.
That's why like in a prison setting, I will not let you rape me first. I'm going to rape you.
Yeah. Joe's going to rape you.
Yeah.
Joe will rape you.
Can you stop that? Because that'll get
Joe will rape
Don't
you.
clip that. Don't
Jonah.
clip that.
Come on.
we dub over you being like, watch Rose Gold.
On YouTube.
That was the best part of Roadhouse is when he beats the shit out of him and then he takes him to the hospital. Is the best part.
Yes, that is funny.
Yeah.
But it detours from that. So
I will say the one thing I want to
Quickly.
mention is getting that response from a driver. Very fun experience because I used
getting
to,
which one? Oh, what are you doing?
what are you doing? Like I used to do this thing in high school. Is if I was driving on the highway and it was a 2-lane, I would drive the same speed as the person to the right of me. So if they speed up, I sped up, and they slow down.
You're a nightmare, John.
I know. And I mean, like they would go like 20 under, they go 20 over, and you just look forward the whole time. You look forward the whole time while you're just kind of doing it. And I had one guy be like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this?"
And you're like,
and it's
"I'm
so fun when you're just like still looking forward.
No, I want you to be like, I'm goofing around.
I'm being silly.
I'm being silly.
This is funny.
Oh man.
So it's fun when you get that from somebody.
I agree.
Dude, I wish you. I really wish you had something to promote on this podcast, though, because it'd be a good
You
way
cut
to
it.
close
You
out.
you cut it all out.
Yeah, cut it all out.
I think I
seriously,
promoted Vegas the
This was,
most.
well, you guys should get together. We should all go to Vegas, do a live one from Vegas.
yeah.
But dude, this has been an absolute joy
Insane,
having
man.
you on the podcast.
Thanks.
Man.
I would come back anytime you guys
We would love
me.
to have you back
Yeah.
anytime
Thanks.
you're through Chicago. And everybody, seriously, check out Rose Gold on YouTube.
Yeah, and if you-
YouTube.com/Daniel Van Kirk Comedy. Is
That's
that the
it.
channel?
And if
Right
you're in the
there.
city in July doing a week of comedy, I hope you guys come and do sets at
Yeah,
it too.
would love to.
There'll be a lot of fun theme shows that'll all be at the Lincoln Lodge. Everything's at DanielVanKirk.com.
Perfect. Love it. Thanks for listening to Let's Get Dumb, everybody. Cheers.